Hi guys, so today's video is going to be some Stormlight Archive predictions. I'm going to start by letting you guys know some of my predictions and then reading your predictions that you submitted over on Instagram. I'm excited, but I'm also a little scared that I'm gonna look like a complete idiot because there's gonna be some things that I'm like, guys, I think this is gonna happen. And then I feel like people that are much smarter than me are gonna be like, no, duh, like basically it's already laid out for us. First thing first, I think that there is going to be some kind of falling out between Adolin and Dalinar. By the way, if you need a recap of the books, I do have a Stormlight Archive recap video that I'll have linked down below. It's a good time. It's also got a lot of memes, but if you need a refresher before we dive deeper into these predictions, I'll have that linked down below. But anyway, Dalinar and Adolin. So, Dalinar's past, we obviously got a bunch of that in Oathbringer, and we saw what actually happened with his wife, and I feel like Adolin doesn't know the whole story. And I also think, man, a lot of my predictions with Adolin have to do with like so many other things as well. I'm gonna end up talking really fast. I'm really sorry. Okay, his relationship with Shallan is, I know some people think it's adorable and sweet and they love the two of them together. I don't think they're a very stable couple, and the fact that they just like got married at the end of Oathbringer, I was like, dude, what? And the fact that we didn't see the wedding, I found strange, because we spend a lot of time being like, here's what the Shattered Plains look like, which is great, but like we get a lot of descriptions about Shattered Plains, and you're not going to give me anything about this kind of interesting relationship where Shallan mentally is struggling, and she also, one of her personalities had a thing for Kaladin, and it's like, so we're just gonna be like, oh, they're married now. I mean, that's kind of how book 3 ended. So I feel like something's going on with their relationship. So I think that's going to put strain on Adolin. And then I also think that the fact that Adolin used to be this person who had so much respect and prestige and power, if you will, in that he was this amazing duelist. And I think now there's all these other people around him who are gaining so much power and are becoming more important. And his place in society, it's like he has to question himself and his place. And then I feel like he has these fond memories of his mother, and then he's going to find out what actually happened. And then I think it's just going to be like the snapping point for Adolin. So I think Adolin, I'm not necessarily thinking he's going to become a total villain, but I do think that there's going to be some tension. I kind of hope it happens. Maybe that's more of what it is. I want there to be. Am I a terrible person if I'm like, I don't want Shallan and Adolin to just be like, oh my gosh, we love each other so much because we're both so hot. Because I feel like besides their one date, that's pretty much all they've got going for their relationship, is that they're attracted to one another physically. Anyway, let's get into some other predictions. I also think that Adolin's dead spren, that's gonna play a role. And I think kind of on a similar topic to that, I think that, I mean, Kaladin was so close to saying the next ideal that I think that the way it works is that there's Syl, who is a spren who's kind of gained sentience in a sense. But I think that, you know, the wind spren kind of are close to Kaladin at times. And I think that that is how they're gonna get the, almost like the shard blades, and then there's the armor, and I feel like that's gonna be what gives, like, they're gonna like form into armor. That's my theory. I feel like, I don't know, in my head it's like, it is, I've just already decided that's what's gonna happen, with the whole Yasna being the one to take over. I think that not everybody is going to be down for that because of their very specific gender roles in their world. I just don't really think everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, it's fine, like, yes, no, sure, she's smart. I would anticipate, it's not a very specific prediction, but I just feel like we have to be focusing a lot on that element, right? And my last prediction is that Dalinar is going to die. Dalinar was very honorable, and he was like the dad figure. Like, literally, he's Adolin and Renarin's dad, but I mean, I feel like he was this wise person who kind of guided people, and he was the one that was like, these are the things in which we need to establish in our kingdom. This is the way we need to behave. And then I think that we're going to lose that. That fatherly wisdom is going to be gone, and book 5 is going to be all everybody else scrambling. Also, after Oathbringer, so we established Dalinar as this kind of likable, respectable guy, and then in Oathbringer, it's like, oh, JK, he was a horrible person for a lot of his life, and so I feel like it kind of, I don't know, it cushions the fact that he might die, I feel like it's like, oh, I mean, he was pretty bad for a lot of his life. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like, oh, I hope that, I mean, part of me, if I have to choose a character to die, of the ones that I like, you know, of the ones that I love, I mean, I feel like I really don't want it to be Kaladin, right? And I feel like there's a lot going on with Shallan. I think stuff's going to happen with Shallan. I just feel like Dalinar's the one that's going to eat it. Okay, let's see what all of your predictions are now. So the first one says, one of the main characters is going to die, probably Adolin. I don't think Adolin's going to die. I do think that somebody's going to die. Somebody important, I think, is going to die. And I don't think it's going to be Adolin, just because I have that theory that I think Adolin's going to somehow become slightly more of an antagonist. So I don't think he's going to die, but I agree. I think someone's going to die. The next one says that we're going to suffer. I think we're going to suffer too. Okay, the fact that he made me so sad when Ellicar died after Ellicar was so annoying. I mean, if he legitimately killed Syl, oh my gosh. Because in book 2, I'm like, she'll come back. I knew she was going to come back. I wasn't worried. But can you imagine if something happened to Syl? How tragic would that be? Oh my gosh. Don't let Syl die. This one says the spren in Adolin's sword will revive. Yep, I agree. I think that's gonna... I said yep, like, you're right, that is gonna happen. I think that that's gonna happen as well. The next one says something tragic will happen with Adolin. I agree. I think he's gonna lose it. I've seen this before. This person says Kaladin and Yasna with like a... and they said maybe. I have seen people say they think Kaladin and Yasna will end up together. I hope not. I don't like the idea of them together at all. I want to touch on, because so many people have so many opinions about the Adolin, Shallan, Kaladin thing, and maybe I'll make a whole separate video about the three of them. I'm not going to get too into it today, but there are a lot of things in the story that kind of show that the relationship between Dalinar, Navani, and, oh my gosh, what is his brother? Gavilar. Their relationships are paralleled with Adolin, Kaladin, and Shallan, but Gavilar died. So if we're looking at, if Dalinar is the brooding, kind of intimidating one, like Kaladin, and if Gavilar is the more, like, regal one, like Adolin, and then obviously Navani and Shallan are all similar, that means something is going to happen to Adolin. So is something going to happen, and then Kaladin's like, oh, no, I can't. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of clues, and there's, like, chapter titles that kind of, I feel like, go alongside this. So I don't know. Maybe there will be a thing with Yasna, though. I don't think that would ever work, because I think Yasna is so dedicated to ruling and being a good queen and all that stuff that I don't think she's going to piss everybody off even more, because already she's a lady and I don't think everybody's going to be on board with that. But then Kaladin was a Dark Eyes, so I just don't see her. I don't think she cares that much that he's Dark Eyes necessarily, but I just don't see her just throwing caution to the wind for passion. You know what I'm saying? That would be the most brooding couple ever, though. They would be so moody. Oh, this next one's so sweet. It says, let's be positive. Cal will speak the next oath. Shallan will be pregnant. No one dies, please. I don't know if any of that's... I can see Shallan having a child. I've seen other people say they think that Shallan and Adolin will have a child. But maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I think she's going to. Somebody said, I don't know how you say this couple name, but Syladin, JK, or am I? So I've seen this theory too. And if it happened, it happens, you know, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of weird because, I mean, she was like childlike for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Kaladin is fatherly necessarily. She suddenly becomes something of a love interest. It would be weird. I feel like it would be really weird. But if it happened, I'd be like, well, all right. I guess some of his romances aren't, you know, much better. This next one. Yes, I didn't touch on this, but I completely agree. Adolin finally faces consequences for killing Sadeas. Yeah, that has to happen eventually, right? Because he just is... Okay, that was one of my favorite Adolin moments when he's like, you know what? Freaking Sadeas. And he just stabs him. I was like, thank you, finally. It took long enough, right? I was so happy when he did that. But I feel like he's just been kind of like, oh no, I I hope nobody figures it out. This is another reason why I think he might have the potential to become an antagonist, though, because I just feel like he snapped, right? He snaps at Sadeas. So I just think there's like a little bit of a temper in him, and that something's going to happen again, I think. Is something going to happen to Renarin? Is that going to be what sets him off? That would be so sad. Renarin's creepy, but I like Renarin. This one's funny. It says, probably going on a limb here, but I'd say something epic, but that's just a guess. Okay, this next one says, Kaladin dies. I will be so mad if Kaladin dies. Guys, I don't even know if I would finish the series if Kaladin dies. I love Kaladin so freaking much. I can see Kaladin dying in book 5. But if he dies in book 4, I mean, I said recently in another video, I've never thrown a book across the room, but I don't know what I would do to that book, but I don't even think throwing it would be enough. If Kaladin dies, I'm losing it. I feel like you won't even see me do videos for a while. Like, I'll need to recover, I'll be mad, I'll be in denial. This next person feels me. They said, I don't know, just hope that Brandon keeps Kaladin alive. Yes, I'm with you. Virtual high five. Anyway, that's it for some Stormlight Archive predictions. Let me know your thoughts on some of these. Let me know if you have more to add to this, because I know I mean, these books are huge and there's so much going on that there's definitely other things I'm sure that people have predictions about. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.